Hello, am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible.
Okay. Welcome, one and all. I am Sajil Gulati, the project head of Project Ahaar Abhiyaan. I have with me Divya Manoj and Abhinav Goyal as my fellow project officers. It is so basically what is Ahaar Abhiyaan? It is a project under the aegis of Public Health and Research Department under the aegis of AMSA India, which has been brought into motion to curb the prevailing problem of malnutrition in the society. It focuses on sustainable development goal 2 of zero hunger in alignment with the US goals. We are delighted to have Dr. Mrs. Sujata Patil ma'am with us as the speaker. So I will tell you a bit about Dr. Sujata ma'am. Dr. Sujata Patil, working as an associate professor in preventive and social medicine at Krishna Institute of Medical Sciences, Karat. She has authored and co-authored many articles which have been published in national as well as international journals. She has written a chapter on antenatal care in a book on antenatal and neonatal care, which has been widely acclaimed. Presently she is working as a principal investigator on a national nationwide vaccine trial. She has guided many UG students on ICMR projects, also PGs and MPH students on dissections. She has also received the Best Doctor Award by Patan Panchayat Samiti in the year 2000. We are delighted to have you here as a speaker, ma'am. Thank you so much. Hope you all have fun today. Ma'am, the stage is all yours now. Thank you so much.
Hello, Sajal. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you are.
Okay, shall I start with the lecture?
Please, ma'am.
Okay, good evening, students. I'm very happy that Sajal and his friends gave me this opportunity to talk to you. We will be having an interactive session with you all. I'm also glad that this project Ahaar Abhiyaan is working on nutrition and various problems related to nutrition. I'm thankful to Abhinav Goyal and Divya Manoj, who are the project manager for this Ahaar Abhiyaan. So shall we start with my slides? Let food be thy medicine and medicine thy food, as rightly quoted by Hippocrates. Nowadays, due to the modern lifestyle, we are seeing that the problems related to nutrition are increasing. Due to the changes in the lifestyle, due to acculturation, that is mixing of culture from one state to another, people are easy travel to the people. They go to different countries and they try their food. They bring back those things with them, the culture, the food, and they share those things. So because of this, the diseases related to nutrition, like obesity, like diabetes, protein energy malnutrition, they are increasing in India. India is becoming capital for diabetes mellitus. Uh, Today we are going to talk some of these diseases and the basic things that are practiced, or the basic food which we used in India in detail. So we have two types of nutrients. We have the macronutrients and micronutrients. Now, what are these macro? In brief, we are going to see what we eat daily. Okay, so what are nutrients? What are micronutrients? What where they are used, and where in which food items we can find this. So macronutrients are proteins, fats, and carbohydrates. Okay. So whatever calories we get 10 to 15% of calories from proteins. We get 15 to 30% of calories from fats, and carbohydrates, maximum calories we get 50 to 80%. Now these three, proteins, fats, and carbohydrates, they are called as proximate principles, because we maximum food we eat that contains proteins, fats, and carbohydrates. So these are called as macronutrients. We also have micronutrients. These micronutrients, we require it, though these things in very small amount, but they are very, very, very important. Like we have vitamins, we have minerals, and some organic acids. Now these vitamins A, B, C, D, E, K, and carotenoids. A, B, A, D, E, K vitamins are fat soluble vitamins. B and C are water soluble vitamins. Some minerals are also very important, like fluoride, iodine, zinc, iron. Iron is very important. So we'll see how these things are important and how they act in our body. So first we'll see about the proteins. Now these proteins are very, very important. They are a part of every cell, tissue, or organ in the body. And most of the proteins we get from non-vegetarian food like meat, poultry, feeds, and also from vegetarian foods like cereals, pulses, dry beans, peas, milk. Protein means of prime importance. They are the body building, and they help in tissue repair. Bodybuilding foods. Now most of you people, you go in gym, you do exercise, and you think that this protein will help you to build your muscles. Okay, so for that you try and eat most of the proteins which are readily available in market. So do they really help you, or do they harm your body? We are going to see it in detail afterwards. Okay. Proteins are also useful for the formation of enzymes, hormones, and antibodies. They are broken down into amino acids. So we have 24 amino acids. Amongst these amino acids, 8 are essential amino acids. These are called essential because these are not synthesized by our body. Okay, so we need these amino acids from outside. Whatever we eat, we get these amino acids. Non-essential amino acids are synthesized in our body. So these are few non-essential amino acids. These we don't need because our body synthesizes these amino acids. But these essential amino acids play an important role, and they have to be, we get these amino acids from the food we eat. Now, what do you mean by supplementary action of proteins? Now, if you see, the maximum part we eat are the cereals and pulses. Now, cereal proteins, whatever we eat, like chapati, roti, bhakri, whatever we eat, they are deficient in lysine and threonine. These two amino acids are not present in cereals. While pulse proteins, they lack in methionine. Okay, so these are known as limiting amino acids. Cereal is deficient in lysine and threonine. Pulse proteins like dal, we eat dal, so that is lacking in methionine. So these are known as limiting amino acids. When two or more vegan foods are eaten together, like we eat rice and dal. Rice is a cereal, dal is a pulse. So when we eat it together, we will get all the amino acids, okay, which are lacking in one of these. So when we eat these together, that these are, they supplement to one another and provide a complete set of amino acids in respect to the animal protein. From animal protein, we get all the essential amino acids, especially egg. Egg we call as a reference protein. Why? Because it contains all the essential amino acids. But people who don't eat eggs, who are vegetarian, For them, we have to combine these things. So this is known as supplementary action of protein. So see our forefathers, how they have done this mixing of things that we eat together, like rice and dal we eat chapati and dal, roti and chana masala, chapati and milk. So whatever the amino acids are lacking, because of the use of these two things, we get all the amino acids, especially for vegetarian people. So it is a good combination, right combination, and this is known as supplementary action of proteins. So we will get all the essential amino acids. Now from cereals, we get 9 to 12 grams of proteins per 100 gram. Pulses, we get 10 to 25 grams of proteins per 100 gram. And this soybean is the richest source of proteins. We get 45 grams from 100 gram. Now this soybean, which is the richest source, this is not taken care of in our country. We don't eat much soybean. Now, maybe the reason is it is unpalatable. So people are not interested in this, but we should go for this soybean proteins because they are maximum, we get maximum amount of proteins. So we can mix soybean flour with wheat flour, and then we can get maximum amount of protein where from the chapatis we eat. So soybean flour can be mixed with protein wheat flour to get maximum amount of proteins. Okay, so that is the what is the protein requirement. Okay, 1 gram, it's very easy to remember, 1 gram of protein per kg body weight per day for an adult Indian. Now suppose if my weight is 50 kg, I will be requiring 50 grams of proteins per day. Got it? So my requirement of protein will be 50 grams. So whatever your weight is there, that much amount of protein you will be needing daily. Now, but requirement it increases, especially for growing children during pregnancy, lactation, infection, infestations, of course, during stress, especially during this COVID infection, the requirement due to stress level, due to recovery from the disease, the protein requirement has to be increased. Now, second important proximate principle we are going to see is fats. Now, again, this is a very important topic. People are very interested. Should we go for fats or should we avoid fats? See, anything, whatever we eat, if we eat in extreme amount, it is harmful. So, the things which should be eaten should be in a required amount. We say that proteins increases the muscle mass, so we should only eat proteins. No, that is not, that should not be followed. Everything should be in right proportion and in right amount. So next part is the fats. Now these fats are also very important for our body. Now these fats are available in saturated fatty acids. These fats, they yield fatty acids and glycerol on hydrolysis. Now this fatty acids is again very important. We have saturated fatty acids, we have unsaturated fatty acids. Saturated fatty acids are mostly found in animal fat. Now these saturated fatty acids are harmful. Okay, they are not good for our body. These unsaturated fatty acids are good fatty acids. In unsaturated fatty acids, we have monounsaturated fatty acids, we have polyunsaturated fatty acids. Okay, so we'll see what is the importance of these fatty acids. So we have monounsaturated, these should be maximum in amount. We have polyunsaturated, again they should be maximum, but the saturated fatty acids should be minimum because they are not good for our body. And of course there are also trans fatty acids. So we'll see what are these trans fatty acids also. So from what we get this fatty acids or fats? So we have animal fats, we get from ghee, butter, milk, cheese, eggs, meat, and fish. Now in animal fats, I say, when I say this is not good for our body, mostly fish oils, they are very good for our body, though they are rich in animal fats, they contain PUFA and MUFA, that is polyunsaturated fatty acids and monounsaturated fatty acids. So these fish oils are very good for our body. Again, vegetable fats we get from groundnut, mustard, sesame. So all these oils we use. But this coconut oil, again, this say that it contains saturated fatty acids. So though it is a vegetable fat, it contains saturated fatty acids. So maximum vegetable fats, they contain PUFA and MUFA, and animal fats, they contain saturated fatty acids, except fish oils, which contains PUFA and MUFA. And here, except coconut oil, which contains saturated fatty acids, all other oils, they contain PUFA, that is polyunsaturated fatty acids. We also have invisible fats, which are present in pulses, cereals. So these are invisible. We don't see them. We eat them with our cereals and pulses. Now, fats, we say, should we go for fats? Now, fats are also very important for our body. So what is their important role in our body? So they yield energy, that is 9 kilocalories per gram. They give energy. They are vehicle for fat soluble vitamins. I told you A, D, E, K are fat soluble vitamins. They support our viscera like heart, kidney and intestine. They are under the skin. So they prevent a cold. They act as an insulation against cold, add palatability to food. Now, this essential fatty acids, they again play an important role, like the structural integrity of cell membrane, decrease platelet adhesiveness, they reduce serum cholesterol and low density lipoproteins. So these functions of fat is very important. So we should not avoid fat, but fat consumption is also important. Now, some people, they talk about this omega-3 essential fatty acids. Omega-3 essential fatty acids are also important because they bring a balance to our hormones, they reduce inflammation, they regulate our blood sugar. So these fatty acids are also gaining importance nowadays, and they are found in walnuts, cold pressed olive oil we get. There we have these omega-3 essential fatty acids. Yes, now many people are interested that which cooking oil is good for our health. Now, this is again very important choice to be made by the family, because every oil has its own importance. So, there should be no use of one single oil, but we should mix all the oils. Instead of mixing, what we can do, we get packets of, suppose we get packets of sunflower oil, we get packets of groundnut oil, soybean oil. So you can use these packets one by one. Means instead of mixing them together, you can have a choice of all these oils. You can use all the oils. When we mix these oils, why we should not mix these oils? Because the boiling point for each oil is different. Okay, so instead of mixing them, you can use different packets. For 10 days period, you can use soybean oil. For 10 days period, you can use groundnut oil. You can go for sunflower oil. So in this way, you can change the oils instead of mixing, but you have to change the oils. So that is a good preference to be made by the family. Yes. Now, what is this hydrogenation and what are trans fatty acids? So these oils which are available, they are in liquid form. Sometimes we go for the solid or semi-solid form because their life increases. So what we do, we go for hydrogenation, that is converting the liquid oil into semi-solid or solid oil. Now, oils, I told you, they contain polyunsaturated fatty acids, okay, or unsaturated fatty acids. But while hydrogenation, while converting them from liquid state to solid state, these fatty acids are converted into saturated form. Okay, cis isomer we call them as, and they are called as trans fatty acids. Okay, so these trans fatty acids are very, very, very harmful to our body. Okay, whatever diseases we are getting nowadays, diabetes, hypertension, most of them are related to this trans fatty acids. Okay, so conversion of liquid fat to solid fat, it leads to transformation of unsaturated fatty acids to saturated fatty acids. Got it? Which are not good for our body. So this trans fat, even if you go and see, you eat vada pav, you eat so many things, you eat this outside, you eat this chicken, you eat pizza, you eat burger. So many of these things, they fry in oil. So whatever they are frying, that oil, they don't change that oil. Okay, same oil is used for frying, and which turns to be carcinogenic after some time. Okay, so once you use that oil for frying, you should not use it again. Okay, so instead of using that oil, we should go for other new oil. So because of this repeated frying, that oil changes to be carcinogenic. So many cancers we are seeing nowadays, even cancers are increasing. So we are getting these diseases because of this trans fatty acids. So if you see labels on biscuit packets or on these packets, whatever you get, the ready-made food, they write what is the content of trans fatty acids. So it's very, very, very high in Indian food, which is very harmful to our body. So let's try, let's see that we don't go for these foods. Instead of using, going out and eating this food, we can prepare this food at home. In one oil only we can fry this, and we don't use that oil again. So say no to trans fat. Most of the bakery products, biscuits, whatever you get, they contain this trans fat, which is very, very high in Indian foods. Most of the diseases, fat related diseases, are obesity. Again, I told you this, the diseases are because of the, not due to the fats you need, are needed by the body, but if more amount, it leads to obesity, it leads to phrenoderma, skin condition, coronary heart diseases, cancers. So many diseases you get from this fat consumption, because they are a good source of energy. Now we'll go to carbohydrates. So carbohydrates is the main source of energy. They are essential for oxidation of fats, synthesis of certain non-essential amino acids. Now what are the main sources of carbohydrates? So starch, which is found in abundance in cereals, roots, tubers. We have sugars, we have monosaccharides, we have disaccharides, glucose, fructose, sucrose, lactose. This is milk protein. Then cellulose, this is the, we get from dietary fiber. Now these are important main sources of carbohydrates. We will see more important is the dietary fiber, which is very, very less in our Indian thali. Whatever we eat in our thali, this amount is very less, and this is required to avoid most of the nutritional related disorders like diabetes, like hypertension, coronary heart disease, atherosclerosis. So we are going to see what is the role of dietary fiber in detail afterwards. Okay, and of course fructose is very good, because this is obtained from fruits, natural fruits. But sucrose, again, we have to be very careful. Sugars are not good for our body. We are going to see it afterwards, why it is not good. So see this graph, you know, it's the glycemic index of various food we eat. Okay, so how the blood sugar level rises in our blood after eating all these things. So if we eat these vegetables, if we eat these fruits, your sugar level rises very slowly, and it comes back to normal within few hours. Okay, even with the chapati bhakri, it rises very steeply, again it comes down. What about these things, glucose, sago, bread, the dairy products, whatever we eat. I told you about the hydrogenation and the trans fatty acids. There the glucose level rises steeply and it remains in the blood for a very long period. This glucose level, it doesn't comes down. So these are very harmful foods which should be eaten, or very less amount should be taken. So sago again is a very important food that should be avoided. I am going to tell you which are 5 white poisons which should be avoided. So this is the graph showing the blood glucose level and the time the blood glucose level comes down. So vegetables and fruits are very good to our body. We should have these things in maximum amount, along with these cereals. We whatever we eat, chapati, bhakri, rice, we eat, which increases the blood sugar level. But these things definitely we have to avoid. Yes. Now this dietary fiber, I told you the role of dietary fiber is very, very, very important. It absorbs water, so the bulk of stool increases. It reduces constipation by increasing the bowel movements. It reduces the transit time for food, so it reduces putrefaction and formation of gases, inhibits fecal mutagen synthesis. Very important is it reduces the incidence of coronary heart diseases. Why? Because they bind to the bile salts. So they decrease the cholesterol level. Very important. They prevent reabsorption of bile salts, thus reducing the cholesterol level in the circulation. This fenugreek seeds, methi we call it in Maharashtrian language, Marathi language. So these fenugreek seeds are again very, very important. They contain 40% of gum, and they are very effective in reducing blood glucose level and cholesterol level. So you should go for this fenugreek seeds, especially in diabetes. You can eat this. Now, a daily intake of 40 grams of dietary fiber should be there. Every Indian should have this 40 grams of fiber in his diet, maybe in the form of salads, maybe in the form of fruits. You should go for this dietary fiber. Yes. Now we'll see what about the micronutrients. So we have minerals and vitamins. Very small amount is needed, but they are very, very, very important. So what are these important micronutrients? We'll see one by one. In short, like vitamin A is very important to prevent blindness. They are available in orange colored fruits, especially mangoes, very rich source of vitamin A. Even drumstick leaves are very rich sources of vitamin A. Then vitamin B1, B2, we know these are important. Vitamin B12 is important. It causes pernicious anemia. Vitamin C, scurvy, it causes. So it is rich in these citrus fruits like strawberries, tomatoes. Then vitamin D, again, very, very important. Nowadays, we are talking more about vitamin D, especially in COVID infection. Its role is very important. And vitamin K, of course, in blood clotting, spinach, green leafy vegetables. So these vitamins are very important to our body, but in micro quantity. So vitamin A, if there is a deficiency of vitamin A, it causes night blindness, conjunctival, xerosis, Bitot spots, Keratomalacia. So the requirement of vitamin A is very important. In our national program, we give this vitamin A to the children in the age group from 6 months to 6 years of age under ICDS program. So this vitamin A is given along with measles immunization. First dose of vitamin A is given along with measles immunization. The second dose of vitamin A is given along with the DPT booster dose of DPT. We give at 18 months of age. And thereafter, every 6 months, we give vitamin A to the children till 6 years of age. Now, this is the important cause of blindness in our country. Vitamin A is an important cause of blindness. So we are giving this vitamin A to our children to prevent from night blindness, conjunctival xerosis, and all these complications. So we are giving to the children under ICDS schemes. Okay. So vitamin A, then vitamin B1. If there is deficiency of vitamin B1, which is rich in the outer coat of rice. Okay, rice outer coat is rich in B1 vitamin, but the polished rice, because of polishing, this vitamin is lost, and we suffer from beriberi and Wernick encephalopathy. Okay, we have wet beriberi. We have. I need one lecture. One lecture is there only on vitamins. So I'm just telling you the importance of these vitamins. So we have beriberi, we get Wernick encephalopathy. So requirement is just 1.2 to 1.4 milligrams per day. Now this is water soluble vitamin, and we get this vitamin mostly from the green leafy vegetables and eggs for non-vegetarian. B3, it causes pellagra. That is the 3Ds, diarrhea, dermatitis, and dementia. Also, this is rich in green leafy vegetables and eggs, and veg and non-veg. The non-veg food, we get most of the food is rich in vitamin B3. Requirement is this much. Vitamin C, very important. It causes scurvy, that is bleeding gums. We call it as bleeding gums. So this is important. The citric foods already we talked about, they are rich in vitamin C. So if you have this vitamin C has important role in absorption of iron also. So in your thali, you should have one lemon piece. You should eat one lemon piece every day with your food, which prevents this scurvy. So requirement is 40 milligrams per day. Now, few problems. I'm just going to brief some problems. I'm not going to discuss this in detail because one problem, one lecture is required. So just in brief, I'll be talking about these nutritional problems. First is low birth weight. The nutritional problems, very important in public health, is the low birth weight, which is very high in India. Low birth weight prevalence is very high in India. And again, this is related to nutrition. Nutrition is related not only during pregnancy, but even before pregnancy. That is the girl, how she has been developed, or how is her nutritional status during her childhood, during her birth. Right from there, this nutrition starts. So this low birth weight babies are the babies where the nutrition is very less in mothers. Okay, so during pregnancy, whatever the needs, calorie requirement is there, because of the growing baby, extra calories, extra proteins are required during pregnancy. So if that is not met, the baby will be a low birth weight baby. So iron and calorie requirement and protein requirement, if it is met during antenatal period, the baby will not be a low birth weight baby. So the iron requirement, protein requirement, and the calorie requirement increases during pregnancy, and that should be met. Second is undernutrition, xerophthalmia. These things we are going to see in some of these things in detail. Like if you eat wrongly, no doctor can cure, but if you eat rightly, no doctor is needed. So we'll see what is malnutrition. So again, India has a very high incidence of malnutrition, very high prevalence of malnutrition. So it is a cellular imbalance. It is the deficiency. It may be excess also, or it may be imbalance of the nutrients and energy demand of the body. So that is malnutrition. Okay. It may be deficiency of the nutrients, or it may be the excess of nutrients, or it may be the imbalance of nutrients and energy. So this malnutrition, I told you, low birth weight babies are often, they get this malnutrition. So it often starts in the womb, that is in the uterus, that is during the antenatal period, and it ends in the tomb. Okay, so that is the death of the baby. So we want to prevent this. This should not end in tomb. So what we are going to do? So we have undernutrition because of deficiency of micronutrients or growth failure. It may be acute and chronic malnutrition, or it may be chronic malnutrition where there is stunting, the height is less because it is chronic. And acute malnutrition, there is wasting or nutritional edema. So here acute malnutrition is, many times we refer this as wash worker, and this chronic malnutrition we say it is as marasmus malnutrition. So what is the difference between wash worker and marasmus? If you see these two children, so this is a marasmic child who is very lean, thin. You can see the bones, the rib cage. Okay, he's very irritable child. There is no edema. The subcutaneous fat is not there in this. Severe wasting of muscles is there, but his appetite is very good. Okay, his appetite is very good, so treatment is good in these cases. Okay, whatever we give them to eat, they will eat because they have a good appetite. Now these are kwashiorkor children, they have edema. So this edema is there. This children, it occurs in between 6 months to 3 years of children. Subcutaneous fat is preserved, they don't look thin or lean children. Okay, and there is itchy rash is seen. Xerosis is seen. So they have this protuberant belly, they are very lethargic, and appetite is very less, they very poor appetite. So these children are very difficult to treat. So poor wound healing is there. So this is the difference between a marasmic child and a kwashiorkor child. So this is often seen in acute malnutrition. This is often seen in chronic malnutrition. This is due to the deficiency in proteins, deficient in proteins, and this is deficiency in both proteins as well as calories. So we use these methods how to detect this malnutrition. We have different types, Shakir tape method, where we have this tape and we can detect malnutrition. Just mid-arm circumference you have to measure, and you will get these readings. If the reading is less than 12.5, the malnutrition is there, and you have to treat this malnutrition. So we have this infantometer is also there to measure the height of the baby. So many things are there. This is the Salter's weighing machine is there. So you can assess the malnutrition. So management of PEM, again, one lecture is required. I'll just tell you some steps, briefing I will done. Most of the deaths in malnutrition is due to hypoglycemia, hypothermia, and dehydration. Okay. So this is important. Immediately when the child comes to you, you have to treat hypoglycemia, you have to treat hypothermia, dehydration. Then you can go for electrolyte imbalance, prevent infection by giving antibiotics. You can correct micronutrient deficiencies, and slowly you have to start feeding the child. Okay, and you see that the child achieves this catch-up growth. This is also important, like sensory stimulation, emotional support. Special preparations are there for these malnourished children, like formulas are prepared. We have F75 formula, we have F100 formula, where the proteins, the calories, they have a special amount of proteins and calories which can be digested by these malnourished children, and you can go for this. So I'm not going to talk in detail, you can go through this afterwards because it's a very important and very long topic. So these are the ingredients which are there in the F75 and F10 formula, F100 and F75. We can also go for this Hyderabad mix. That is, we can use this whole wheat, Bengal gram, groundnut, and jaggery. We can make laddus out of these using all these things. So one laddu will give you 330 calories and this much amount of proteins if the laddu is of 86 grams. So this is also a very good combination, especially for malnourished children. We prepare the Hyderabad mix laddus. Then we are seeing this obesity. That is on one side we have malnutrition, and on other side we have obesity. Malnutrition is seen in very low socio-economic group in tribal area, while obesity is seen in higher socio-economic group and people with sedentary lifestyle. Even children are getting this diseases nowadays. They are becoming obese. They are sitting for a very long period. So this is obesity, and this is the BMI. The BMI is above 29. 25 to 29, the person is overweight, and if it is above 30, it is obese. So we diagnose obesity by measuring all these things. Especially we take the body mass index. So body mass index is, you know what is body mass index? I think students, you should be knowing what is it. So there are many comorbidities in obesity. So people want to decrease weight. So these are so many comorbidities or the complications of obesities, like they will get hypertension, myocardial infarction, stroke, venous type 2 diabetes, gout, osteoarthritis, and so many things. So we have to prevent or we have to treat obesity. So we are going to see this afterwards, how we are going to do. Most of the time we people are talking about this intermittent fasting for fat loss, especially for obesity. So people are want to decrease the weight in a very in few days. Okay, so how they are going to do it? So there some theories have come about, many research papers are published on this intermittent fasting for weight loss. So we have many different types of intermittent fasting. Like we have alternate fasting, that is on alternate days we go for fasting. We don't eat anything, pure fasting, only water is taken, that is 0 calories, and other day the next day you can eat whatever you want. So that is alternate fasting. We have periodic fasting, that is for a particular time, that is fasting for 24 hours. You can go for fasting for one day and then you can eat. So many things are coming. Daily time restricted feeding, that is for 16 hours you can do fasting, and for 8 hours there is a non-fasting period. For 8 hours you can see. So suppose you eat at 7 o'clock in the evening, next day 7 o'clock will be 12 hours, and plus 4 hours means at 11 o'clock you can eat. So that is 16 hours fasting. 16 hours fasting and 8 hours non-fasting. So many things are coming up. So many studies, research is going on this intermittent fasting. But many people find it good, because the weight loss is there in few days. But it is very you have to have a strong willpower to do these things, because fasting is not very this thing. People cannot fast for few hours also. So you need a good willpower. So you can try for this also, intermittent fasting for fat loss. Anemia, again very important. Anemia, most of the deaths, especially during antenatal period, postnatal period, our mothers die because of this anemia, which is very common. The prevalence of anemia, especially during pregnancy in India, is 60 to 70%. So anemia, again very important problem in India. So these are the symptoms of anemia. I'm not going in detail. These are the causes of anemia. It may be due to blood loss, it may be due to hemolysis. So you will be reading this in detail. Now, iron deficiency anemia, these are the causes. The important causes are this also: the demographic factors, the dietary factors, and poverty. So not only these medical causes are there, but these things are also important. Okay, so in elderly, teenagers, females, we see these demographic factors, the cause of anemias: low vitamin C, low iron. The Indian food which contains iron, that is heme iron, it's very less. So and the absorption is also very less, because many inhibitors are there in our food. Excess tea and coffee, food diets. We take our meal, and after meal we go for coffee or after meal we drink tea. So that is not good because they decrease the iron absorption from our food. So these are the inhibitors: phytic acid, polyphenols, tannins, calcium. They inhibit iron absorption. But these are promoters. They increase the iron absorption. So I told you that about the lemon. So that is very good. So we should have one lemon piece in our thali to increase this iron absorption. So where we get iron? Again, green leafy vegetables, they are rich in iron. These are the non-vegetarian food where we'll get iron. Okay, beans, legumes. So these are the iron. So with the inhibitors are like tea, cassava, I told you, they decrease the iron absorption. So don't go for tea and coffee after your breakfast. Also after your lunch, dinner, you should not go for tea and coffee. That decreases the iron absorption. So anemia is just not due to deficiency of iron, but because of vitamin B6, B12, and even folate deficiency. So during pregnancy, we give iron and folic acid. So folate is also a very important for preventing the neural tube defect during pregnancy. So these things should be there in your food. So folate is rich in all these foods. Then we'll talk about something about diabetes. Type 1 diabetes, you know that it is due to absolute insulin deficiency, destruction of beta cells. We need, because there is no insulin, we require to give insulin. Onset is seen in childhood, adolescence, but it can occur at any age, especially the child presents first time with diabetic ketoacidosis, and we say that the child is suffering from diabetes, type 1 diabetes. We also have type 2 diabetes. It is seen after 40 years of age. They have strong family history of diabetes, obesity is there, acanthosis nigrans is seen, skin tags, but there is a good beta cell reserve here in type 2 diabetes. We can measure C peptide level and we come to know if these levels are good, we say that the beta cells in the pancreas are good, and we can go for oral anti-diabetes diabetic drugs also. No need of insulin in each and every case for type 2 diabetes. Now, diabetes, actually, this diabetes management along with obesity, I'm going to talk about. This is for all in general, even for weight loss, how we are going to do it. Everything I'm going to talk about here, okay? So, diet is important for diabetes management. We are going to see which foods we should eat. Medication, of course, very important. Regular monitoring, stress management, exercise is important in diabetes control. So, what should we eat to prevent diabetes, to prevent obesity, to prevent so many diseases? We'll talk in general now along with diabetes. So what should we eat? So it is not only for diabetic people, but also for us, other normal people also. We should increase the foods which increase the blood sugar level very slowly. So your thali should have these things also. There should be leafy vegetables, salads, fruits. They increase the blood sugar slowly. So your thali should be rich in this. And these things should be avoided, like potato, sago, fruit, juices. Juices you should not eat. You should eat whole fruit. Okay? Rice, corn, especially for diabetics, we tell them not to eat rice because they increase the blood sugar very rapidly. Of course, sweets, chocolates should be avoided. Alcohols, maida, the materials or the products which are made from maida, again very harmful. So most of the sugar, which fruits have most sugar? Mangoes, grapes, cherries, they have sugar content. See the sugar content, they have a very high content, and these are the fruits which have less sugar. Yes, these are diabetes friendly food. Okay, so this is lemon, cucumber, carrot, methi. I told you the importance of this methi, karela, jamun, guar. This is the Gawar. Javas, this is called as Javas. Okay, so these are called as diabetes friendly fruits. You can eat ample of these things, especially diabetics. They should go for this. Now, this is very important. Avoid which things? 6 white poisons. Which 6 white poisons should be avoided? Sugar. So whatever things are prepared from sugar, they are not good for our body. Okay, so sugar. Then maida. Okay, white bread, which is prepared from maida. Cakes, pastries, biscuits, they are prepared from this maida. So second white poison is maida, sugar. Then salt. Salt is the third white poison. Okay, so consumption of salt should be less than 5 grams per day. Sago, this is again very harmful. Sabudana, we make khichdi of this. Okay, this is the fourth white poison. Dalda, I told you, hydrogenation, how it converts this saturated fat into unsaturated fat into saturated fat. So this is again very harmful. So this is the fifth white poison. And nowadays we use lots of mayonnaise, creams on the various things. So we should not use those also. So that is also harmful. So they have added the 6 white poison also. Okay, so these are the 6 white poisons. Food prepared from these should be not consumed or consumed in a very small quantity. Okay, then this, how much sugar should, so diabetics, yes, they should not use sugar at all, but other people, normal people, some sugar is okay, but go for less amount, less use of sugar. Oil, now oil consumption is very important. 500 ml per month, per person per month should use 500 ml. So if in your family there are 4 members, so you should bring 2 liters of oil a month, and that much amount of oil should be used. Okay, so 2 liters of oil per month should be used by a family of 4 members. And this is about the salt. It should be 5 grams per day. Now if there are 4 members in the family, so 20 grams per day of this salt can be used. So bring 600 grams or half kg of salt, and that half kg should be used for whole month. So that is the thing, how you can go for, okay, that much salt I am using or that much oil I am using. So bring that much what is required for 1 month period, and you can use this. Yes. Now this is the healthy plate. I told you your plate should contain most of the fruits and vegetables. Okay. No fruit juices should be used, but instead of fruit juices, whole fruits should be taken with the outer covering. Outer covering is also important. So non-starchy vegetables along with the fruits. This is the half amount of plate, and then you can go for this chapati, rice, this much, 1/4 amount, and 1/4 amount is for milk or these nuts, eggs you can go, or pulses, dal we use, no? So that much amount you can go for this. So this should be the plate, and see what plate we use. The plate we use is most of the things these grains and starchy vegetables, this we have. Okay, and not, this is absolutely not there in this plate. Okay, or the vegetables which we use here, okay, they are very less in amount. So this is the healthy plate versus the Indian plate. So you should go for this type of plate. Okay, when to eat? So you have to eat only when you are hungry. Okay, so young people, they have a tendency while watching a movie or while watching TV, while on mobile, they eat so many things. So no, you have to eat only when you are hungry. Avoid fasting and feasting. Have food at regular intervals. You should have some timing, preferably set times. So you should go regular, at regular intervals you can eat that food. and there should be a gap between the meal time and bedtime. Evening food should be taken very early, 7 o'clock. If you take your meal, you can go to bed at 10 o'clock. Now you young people go to bed at a very you watch your mobiles, TVs, and your bedtime is maybe 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. So that is not again very good time. So try to go for these things. So obesity, if you follow these things, definitely you can prevent obesity. How much you are going to eat? See your stomach. So it needs only 50% of food. So no excess of food. Whenever you feel satiety, whenever you are satisfied, just stop there only, because 25% air is there in your stomach and 25% water is there. So you just need 50% of food. So see this, watching television, no, not eating food while watching television, watching mobiles. So practice mindful eating. So you should eat listening to your body and stop when full. Okay, so your body signals, body tells you now I'm full, don't eat. Stop there only. Don't eat when these emotions are there. Okay, you are sad, you are bored, lonely, so don't eat that. Eat alone, no, you have to eat with others. Okay, you have to eat with your family members. I would like to tell you that eating on a dining table is not good, but you should sit on the ground and you should eat. This is very important, considering where the food comes from. So you should not watch television, you should not watch your mobiles, but you should think of the food, what you are eating, how you are eating, and where this food comes from. So there is a myth that when I have this diabetes or hypertension, I should not eat my favorite foods or what. So yeah, you can eat, but you can change your type of preparation. So bake instead of fry, add less sugar. You can change. No two starchy foods should be taken together. Smaller servings of your food. Okay, and you can share your food. Okay, so that will be a smaller serving. And occasionally, yes, okay, once in a month or once in 15 days, you can eat sweet, especially in diabetics, or you can eat fried food. But it should be on very less amount. Yes, now I want to talk about some latest trends and facts. We have this ketogenic diet. We talk about the vegan diet, so many diets, fruitarian diet. So what is this ketogenic diet? You should not go for this. I told you, anything extreme is not good for you. Okay, so if you go, I have given some examples. So if you go for ketogenic diets, then there are no carbs, fat is in, 75% fats, 20% of proteins, and 5% carbs. Okay, so this is again not good. Utilize fat is instead of glycogen. Weight loss is not sustainable. Okay, so after you stop taking this diet, the weight increases. Multiple nutritional deficiencies are there. Hyperlipidemia may be seen. So it is not recommended for long-term use. So no excess of proteins. It will also harm your kidneys. Okay, load will be there on the kidneys. So anything extreme, no. Even vegan diet, everything veg minus dairy. Now some people are vegetarian people, so they have this deficiency like iron deficiency, vitamin D, so they have to take extra food which contains this amount of iron and vitamins, so that they will not have these deficiencies. So they need supplementation. On the vegetarian people, okay, it is environmental friendly, it is a vegan thinking, it is a way of life, so you can go for vegan diet. We also have fruitarian diet, so many diets are there. Latest diets are there, yes, we should go for Dikshit Divekar dilemma. So again I told you that instead of these things, uh, they have many side effects. So instead of, what is your surname? If I am Patil, my diet should be Patil diet. So what I feel like eating when I is good for my health, that I should follow. Okay. So what is your surname? That diet you should follow. What you think, what you want, what you like, that you eat. Okay. And which is healthy, of course. So this is a diet model chart. Someone asked me about the diet model chart. So it's like it's for the diabetic person. I have prepared it. Okay, so you can go for this diet chart. Yes, now exercise, again, I'm not going to talk much about this because again, this needs one more lecture, but an adult needs exercise definitely 150 minutes of heart pumping physical activity per week. That is at least 30 minutes you have to exercise daily. It may be a brisk walk or it may be uh, any type of exercise is important. Researchers, even short exercises like climbing stairs for 10 minutes is also important. So instead of doing for 30 minutes, if you can do it for 10 minutes, again in the morning, in the evening for 10 minutes, in the afternoon 10 minutes. So in this way, if you can do, yes, but do some exercise. 150 minutes of exercise is very important for heart pumping to prevent coronary heart diseases. Moderate physical activity is again very good. So you can go for walking, gardening, hiking, dancing, cycling. So this is moderate. So it is better than the actual physical activity what you do for one. Now 30 minutes, if you do exercise 30 minutes per day, this reduces the incidence of type 2 diabetes mellitus. Okay, this decreases obesity, type 2 diabetes mellitus. If it is 90 minutes per week, okay, if you do exercise for 90 minutes per week, it helps reduce your blood pressure. If you do it 175 per minutes, 175 minutes per week, it improves your mental health. If you do it for 120 per week, it improves your memory. Now nowadays Alzheimer's is very common in adult population, so this is very important. 120 minutes per week, 150 minutes per week reduces risk of cancers. So you have to schedule. Okay, you have to have your own time. So I will do for this many minutes every day. You can go for any time. Now this is coming. Sitting is a new addiction, especially during this corona period. We all were locked down, so we had this sitting. We used to sit for a very long time in our house. So this has come as a new addiction. So sitting for more than 3 hours a day, it contributes for 4% of all deaths. Sitting for more than 8 hours per day, especially people who are working in offices, in front of computers, they sit for these many hours per day. So the death is equal to the death due to obesity and smoking. See how harmful this sitting is. So instead of sitting for such a long period, just after half an hour, you can get up, you can walk for you can walk few steps, again you can come, again you can sit. So you have to have a habit. In between, you can stand, walk for few minutes, you can do some exercise. So sitting for more than 3 hours a day can cut 2 years of a person's life expectancy. So this is very important. So try to walk. So diet industry today, we have so many things coming up. So many products are coming up. For everyone, same product doesn't fit. Okay. So you have to decide what is good for you. You as now you people are doctors, you will be studying these things in detail. So you have to decide what is good for your patients. Okay. So what are the four pillars of health? Sorry. So four pillars of health are balanced diet, exercise, no addiction, and of course, mental health. So this is all about my lecture. If you have any questions, I can. Any questions? Aparna, they have. Okay. So I tried to solve the questions which Sajal sent me. Again, if you have any questions now, we can discuss. Anyone wants to talk? Sajal?
Good evening,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am. I guess Malavika has a question.
Okay.
Malavika, please type in the chat box, or you can directly
Yeah.
ask
Type in the chat
from
box
ma'am.
so I can, yeah.
Anybody who wants to ask any question from Sujata ma'am, please type in your questions in the chat box.
मैम सिर्फ मैं कुछ पूछूं?
Not teratogenic, but yes, there is one question that why vitamin A is teratogenic in fetus and not in infants. Okay, so it's not a teratogenic. Of course, if it is taken in large amount, the dose is 1 lakh international units for infants and 2 lakh international units above 1 year of age. So if it is taken in large amount, then of course it is harmful. Otherwise, it is not teratogenic.
Ma'am, but in case of pregnancies, we tell them not to take vitamin A, isn't it, ma'am? In case of pregnant women, vitamin
Yes,
A is
yes.
contraindicated.
Yes.
So that is the question I had. Why is it contraindicated in case of
Actually,
when
it
the
is
baby is intrauterine?
no. It's not contraindicated. Actually, it is a myth. Actually, they say that if you eat papaya, which contains lots of vitamin A, it is abortifacient. Papaya is an abortifacient, so they don't go for these. But it's not contraindicated. But if you take it in large amount, yes, definitely it will harm.
Ma'am, which means in case of medications, it's better to avoid them in
Yes,
pregnancy.
medications definitely through food, whatever you get, it's good.
Thank you very much, ma'am. It was a very wonderful presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you.
Ma'am, we have one question from Ananya Vadera.
Yes.
So the
Iron rich foods, about iron rich foods, na?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I told you about the iron rich foods. There are heme and non-heme sources. Non-heme sources are from one slide was there. Where is heme and non-heme? Okay, heme and non-heme iron. So non-heme iron, which is found in plants, green leafy vegetables. Actually, it is green leafy vegetables. So that is the absorption of this non-heme iron is very less. So while eating these things, you have to also, I told you the importance of ascorbic acid or taking a lemon with that. So you have to increase the absorption. And of course, heme iron, that is from non-vegetarian diet, we have like meat, we have iron. That there also you have to use this lemon. Green leafy vegetables, all non-vegetarian foods, they have iron in large amount. Seafoods, everything is there. Spinach, dry fruit, nuts, iron is there. Peas, beans, everywhere we see this iron, but the absorption is very less. So you have to increase the absorption by using ascorbic acid. Got it?
Ma'am, we have one more question.
Yeah.
So the question goes as, any tips for calorie deficit diet for fat loss, but at the same time balancing all micronutrients?
No, I told you, na, fat loss, obesity, I told you, just by diet control, yes. And with exercise, you can go for weight control. Obesity, it's very difficult. I told you nowadays this fasting is coming up, alternate fasting, periodic fasting, daily time. So that is a very good option. People are going for that to lose weight.
Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am. There's one
Okay.
more question.
Okay.
Rapid weight loss can give you stretch marks. How to
Yes.
deal with it?
Yes. Uh, Actually, I would consider that there should be no rapid weight loss. For that only we say that this rapid weight loss should not be done. Should not be done because it gives you stretch mark. So it should be done slowly. What happens initially in first month there is a sudden weight loss, but afterwards second month, third month the weight loss is a bit decreases. So for first month it's okay, but after that the weight loss is very less. Okay, you have to make more efforts to lose weight after that. So it should be not very rapid. Try to do it slowly, because if you do it rapidly, again you are going to gain weight. Okay, if you do it slowly, you will not gain weight. Okay, so it depends on you. The stretch marks, sudden losing of fat, subcutaneous fat definitely will give you stretch marks. So don't go for rapid weight loss.
There is one more question, ma'am. During this pandemic, there has been a lot of talk about boosting immunity, but we
Yes.
need specific acquired immunity to fight the virus. So, is
Yes.
it necessary to take measures to boost general immunity with respect to COVID?
Yeah. Immunity is again very, very important. I saw here many patients with a good immunity. They had the very less signs and symptoms of COVID infection. So definitely not only in this COVID infection, but for all diseases, you should have a very good immunity. And good immunity is you can get it only with the balanced diet. It's not just by taking some things you will get good immunity, and today if you consume that thing, you will get tomorrow you will have a good immunity. It's not just like, you have to do it daily. You should have a balanced diet, and vitamins and minerals, micronutrients are very important. Citrus fruits, we say, then garlic, ginger, so many preparations. Even Ayurveda, they have prepared so many things for good immunity. Yes, definitely it helps, and you should go for these things.
Okay. So, the
Type
next
2
question.
diabetes can be controlled by diet only. Yes, it can be controlled with by diet and exercise. But again, you should take an advice of the doctor, a physician, and you should go for it very slowly. Just don't stop drugs abruptly, because that may increase your blood sugar level. But yes, you can control it by diet and exercise if your blood sugar level is not very high.
Okay. Ma'am, ma'am, we have a variety of questions. The next
Okay.
question that follows is intermittent fasting good in the long run if done for 14 is to 8 or 12 is to 12 ratio?
Um, Actually, this is a brain derived neurotropic factor, and new issues are coming about. So many studies are going on actually on this intermittent fasting, whether you should go for it or not. uh, till now we have not much information about this, but still it is a brain derived neurotropic factor. And yes, they say that the brain cells, they function better by observing this intermittent fasting, and chances of dementia are very less. They decrease the cholesterol level, arthritis, and so many things are coming up. But still studies are going on that. So we don't actually but for obesity, who have a very the weight is very obese, they are very obese, they can go for this intermittent fasting. 16 to 8, I think that is very good in my this thing. 16 to 8, that is intermittent fasting, that is eating only during 8 hours and 16 hours fasting.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
The next question is, when it comes to balanced diet in terms of nutrition,
Yes.
it costs a bit more than what the vulnerable sections of the society can afford. What are the low cost, high nutrition food available for them?
Okay, balanced diet, it's not only the high class society they will get these things. Whatever I'm talking is about everyone, every individual in our country should get these things. It's not the locally available food which are there, they can go for these are locally available food. Vegetables are grown in the farms, fruits are there. So nowadays we are going for this rainbow rainbow revolution also. So that rainbow revolution is the people should go for, to cultivate more different colored crops, vegetables and fruits. Different vegetables and fruits should be consumed, so they can go for that cultivation, and easily it is available. It's not like very high cost food are good for health and low cost good are not good. No, 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 everybody will eat same chapati, everybody will eat same bhakri, everybody will, anybody can afford bananas, the fruits which are locally available, the amlas are locally available, lemon is locally available, or cereals, dal, everything is locally available. It's not just the cost. Even the vulnerable section can afford, but people are not aware. We have to create awareness in the society, especially in villages. They are not aware of these things, that these vegetables and these fruits, how they are important. Micronutrients, for micronutrients. See, how much weight should be ideally lost in a month? Actually, uh, 3 to 6. Actually, in a month, 1 to 2 kg. Yeah, 1 to 2 kg. Fruit, actually, I told you, you should eat fruit by chewing, not juices. Juices should not be taken, because again it increases the blood sugar level very steeply. So just go for whole fruit with the cover. So you should chew that fruit, because even the saliva helps in our digestion. So that is very good. So fruits, no juices. You should go for whole fruits. Yes, glycemic index vary if you take the juices. The glycemic index sugar level increases suddenly. Okay.
Ma'am, there's one more question.
Eggs, I will say, again, eggs, people have so many things about egg. The yolk should not be eaten. It contains cholesterol and all those things. Yes. So if you are not obese, you can go for egg yolk also. So 2 eggs, the protein requirement. What is your weight? If it is 50 kg, your requirement of protein is 50. So 1 egg will give you 1 to 2 eggs is okay. 1 to 2 eggs is okay. So for protein requirement, the eggs are very good, because it is gives all the it is called as reference protein, because it gives all the essential amino acids. So 1 to 2 eggs daily is okay. 7 gram egg will give you 6 to 7 grams of proteins daily. So you will get a good amount of proteins. Okay, we'll stop here, Sajal. I think there are no questions.
Yes, ma'am. So that was I'll first start by thanking you from the depth of our hearts, ma'am, for providing us with such an educative as well as interesting session.
Thank you.
I just can't I just don't know where to start the praise from, ma'am. It was such well presented, well timed. Confidence levels were so high, and every praise that I do for you would be considered less, ma'am.
Thank you, Sajal. Thank you so much.
At the end of the day, we can just thank you for educating us through this elucidative session.
Okay.
I thank all the participants as well for joining in this session. It would have been really incomplete without you all. Thank you all for joining in this webinar and making it a huge success. And I hope each and everyone has learned something new and had fun today. Thank you so much, guys, for joining in this beautiful session. All the participants are now requested to proceed forwards for their group activities.
Sajal, may I leave the group now?
Yeah, sure, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, Sajal.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you all the participants as well. Have a nice day.
ऐसे leave करूंगी।